What's up guys, my name's Brandon and today Apple released iOS 12.1.3 a little over a month after the release of iOS 12.1.2. So in this video, we're going to be running through everything new in the software and also answer the question, should you update or not? And just a quick note to the beta testers out there, if you were running beta 4 before today, you do just need to delete the beta profile, restart your device, and then the update for 12.1.3, the final version, will populate in your software update settings. Alright, so you can see here the size of the update came in at 2.77 gigabytes. Now this was the update size on my iPhone XS Max, which was coming from iOS 12.1.2, but when I ran the update here on my iPhone XR, which is running beta 4, it was about the same size, over 2.5 gigabytes. So expect a pretty big update. Some people did report it was only, a few hundred megabytes, but most people do report that it's over 2 gigabytes. And you can see there's something interesting here. We have the release notes for iOS 12 for some reason. So this is just everything that changed from iOS 11 to iOS 12. Instead of showing us exactly what changed in 12.1.3. So that's why you guys need me. That's why you guys need these videos, to show you what's actually been changed instead of just reading this, which you already know about. But before we get into those changes, let's go ahead and take a look at the build number for this update. And you can see right there on my iPhone XR, it's 16D40. Now, one thing to note is that the build number will be different for the older devices. So it's going to be 16D40 for the 2018 iPhones and the iPad Pro, of course, but it's going to be 16D39 for the older devices. So just keep that in mind when you do updates. So let's go ahead and talk about now what has been changed here in 12.1.3. And there's actually a really big issue that has been addressed here in 12.1.3 that's been lingering around on iOS for a very long time. I've experienced this. Pretty much everybody I know has experienced this issue, and it's finally been fixed here in 12.1.3. So the issue actually occurs inside of messages, and it's when you go to the info section right here, and then you go to look through old images. So if you want to find like an image that was sent, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, you would go through here and just scroll through all the images. But the bug that would happen is that sometimes it would just stop scrolling and it would take you all the way back to the top, and you can never get down and go through all those old images. And sometimes settings would just, or not settings, but messages would actually completely crash. You'd have to reopen it, go back into here and start looking for those images again, only for it to go back to the top or just crash again. And again, this has been happening for a long time. This has been happening obviously since iOS 12.1.2, but it has been happening before that as well. Like iOS 12.1, I believe it happened when I first got my XS Max as well. So it's been happening for a long time, and 12.1.3 finally fixes this major bug. So in my opinion, that is the biggest change here in 12.1.3, and I'm sure a lot of you guys also experienced that, and you're going to be very pleased to see that that has been fixed here in 12.1.3. Now this update does also address an issue where photos could have striped artifacts after being sent from the share sheet. Now I never experienced this. I did see some posts on this on Reddit and also on the Mac Rumors forum, so this has been an issue for some people, but I never actually had this. But if you did have that, that's also been fixed here in 12.1.3. Now a big bug that was reported by iPad Pro users, the 2018 iPad Pro users on 12.1.2, is that there was audio distortion when you used an external audio interface like a microphone or something that plugs in via USB-C to the iPad Pro. There was audio distortion issues, so that has been fixed here in 12.1.3. And another issue that I actually had in 12.1.2 as well is that CarPlay would actually disconnect from the 2018 iPhone. So the iPhone XS, XS Max, and the iPhone XR, it would just completely disconnect randomly at times in 12.1.2, and I believe this happened in 12.1 as well. So if you did have issues with CarPlay and the 2018 iPhones, 12.1.3 will fix that as well. And then there were a couple of HomePod bugs that were fixed as well, which is the issue that could cause the HomePod to just randomly restart, and also an issue that could cause Siri to stop listening on the HomePod. Both of those things have been fixed in this latest update. Now another fix in 12.1.3 actually comes for iPhone X users and the brand new smart battery case from Apple. So now with 12.1.3, you're going to be able to use the iPhone X inside of the iPhone XS smart battery case. So that is good news if you do have an iPhone X and you decided to pick up an iPhone XS smart battery case. If it wasn't working for you, it should now after this update. Now another thing that could be improved or completely fixed for some users is cell and Wi-Fi connectivity. And the reason for that is because the modem firmware and also the carrier versions have been updated here in 12.1.3. So if you were having issues with cell connectivity connectivity, Wi-Fi connectivity, maybe it was weak, maybe it was just slow, 12.1.3 could fix that for you. Now, of course, it's going to be different for every single person. It may be different for you than it is for me, so I can't really say if it has fixed it for you or not. All I know is that I'm going to be doing a lot of testing on my iPhone XS Max. I am going to install 12.1.3, the final version, on my XS Max and monitor if cell connectivity or Wi-Fi connectivity have improved. And of course, I will let you know in an update video next week if I have noticed any drastic changes. But just know that this update could improve that for you. So if you have been having issues, then definitely go ahead and update. And then of course, you guys know about the airplane mode bug. You can see here, I'm not in airplane mode, but up in the top right of the status bar does show, for some reason, it just changes back to showing I'm in airplane mode, even when I'm not. So you can see when I go into applications, when I go to the home screen, but mainly when I go back to the home screen, you can see it shows airplane mode. But when I swipe down to actually pull up, the control center and everything, I can actually see that airplane mode is not enabled. So it's just a really random bug. And some people, after I pointed that out in my beta video, some people also mentioned that that also happens with the VPN logo up there in the status bar. So that has been fixed as well in 12.1.3. I've tried to reproduce it. I can't. So I'm pretty sure that this has also been fixed in 12.1.3. So you won't be having that annoying airplane mode or VPN bug anymore. So that's pretty much everything that's been changed or fixed in 12.1.3. It's actually been a much bigger update than I originally expected from the betas. There's a lot of fixes that are actually relatively important to a lot of users. But it gets even better when we talk about the performance. So iOS 12.1.3 definitely feels faster than 12.1.2. And this actually first started happening with beta 4 of 12.1.3. So beta 4 did give a pretty major performance boost to some people's devices. Now to me, it wasn't a major performance boost. I did notice a little bit, and it wasn't just the animations. It was just going in and out of applications. It was just loading up things faster. I don't know. It just seemed faster in general than beta 3 did. So 12.1.3, the final version, does feel faster than 12.1.2, and of course even better than beta 3 of 12.1.3. So definitely some performance improvements here as well, which a lot of people are going to be really happy to hear. Now when it comes to the battery life, it is too early to tell how good it is compared to 12.1.2, but of course time will tell, and I will be doing a follow-up video with all types of battery information next week. I will be running it here on my iPhone XS Max. I'll also report how it is on the XR as well, and let you know if it's better and just how much better it is than 12.1.2. So stay tuned for that video. I can tell you right now though, it's probably going to be about the same as 12.1.2. Can't imagine it'd be too much better, but you never know. I could be surprised. So with all that being said, is it worth updating to 12.1.3? And I would say that unless you want to jailbreak your device and stay on the lowest version possible, definitely upgrade to 12.1.3. The messages bug is almost completely worth it alone, but the minor performance boost and also the possible connectivity fix is also something you're definitely going to want to update for. So if you guys have downloaded iOS 12.1.3, let me know how it's been running for you down in the comment section below. Also, let me know if there's any other bugs that you would like to see fixed in the next version of iOS down there in those comments. You guys know I love replying to you down there as well. And again, stay tuned to the channel for the follow-up video on 12.1.3. I'm going to talk about the battery and performance, maybe some things that I may have missed as well in that video. And then of course, probably soon, maybe even tomorrow, we may see the next beta release. It could be either 12.1.4 or iOS 12.2. So stay tuned for that video as well here on the channel. Make sure you are subscribed with those notifications turned on. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video right here, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe for all those things I already talked about throughout this video. So anyways, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.